takes you on a wild ride through movies that are gloriously unsettling, mind-bendingly strange, and some that will make you even question reality itself. I'm your host, Hadley Thorne, and joining me are Alan Gamboa, the master of the macabre and weaver of chilling tales, Scott Baker, who's always armed with a scalpel of wit and a microscope of analysis, also known as the Sultan of Science Fiction and the decoder of dystopian dreamscapes, and finally, the king of the zombie apocalypse survival fiction genre, the champion of undead narratives, is the one, the only, Rich Rasucci. And of course, I'm your guide, Hadley Thorne, founder of the Weird Realities Network, here to lead you through tonight's fantastical Weirdverse. These films will transport you, they may terrify you, but they will forever change you. So grab your Coke, your popcorn, and get those tinfoil hats, because it's about to get wonderfully weird.
Hey, I like that.
Yeah,
New intro. That was pretty slick.
good.
Save some time there. Do our little countdown. And I see Scott Baker's in the house. What the hell? How can you be in two places at once?
My clone. My clone escaped from the agency.
This is the life model.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Tony. I am trying to get us more professional. We started off professional, then we just kind of went wild and crazy, and now I'm trying to get the cats herded back again.
Cats are hard. Once you let the cats out, it's pretty hard to get them back.
There's my favorite, Landa. Hey, Landa.
Hi, Landa.
So, okay, this was the weirdest week of movie watching, and I'm here armed with snark. So,
well, it better not be a Godzilla Minus One.
I'm not. I'm armed with snark.
Oh, you're gonna ruin me.
So, how is everybody?
Good. I'm enjoying my first week off from school.
Well, that's
Nice.
What about you, Big Mike?
I'm all right. Busy week.
I saw you
When
park.
you got three jobs, you got to juggle them.
Well, I have to tell you, I was looking back through our archives and I realized that Alan has been doing Watching Wyrd for 3 years.
Oh, wow.
3 years. It's you and I talked about it, and you came on board in June of 2021.
I must
Hard
not
to
have
believe.
things to do on Thursday nights. No.
You have lots to do on Thursday nights.
Yeah. It started with the Army of the Dead, right? That was the whole
It did.
big.
And Scott Baker was in the chat room that day that we did Army of the Dead, and I was so intimidated by him because he was, was a former
Why
CIA
were you intimidated by me?
guy. Obviously, I didn't know you.
Former CIA.
Yeah.
And
That's
I was
right.
like, he's a spook. You gotta be careful of that guy.
Yeah.
I'm getting to ask you how your week was. How was your day? Let's go with that.
My
How was
day.
your day? Yeah, how was your day?
I'm recovering from yesterday. Yesterday, I went and I spoke at the Metaphysical Mississippi. They invited me. I'm a directory member there for Weird Realities and for Hadley Thorne. And they invited me to come talk about stuff. And I talked about Weird Realities. And I have to tell y'all, we're doing really good. We're like probably 40 subscribers away on YouTube to being able to get sponsors. So we've grown a lot. Yeah, so I'm really pushing. If you haven't subscribed to YouTube, please do. And that's a big thing for us. But you know that we've had over 23,000 views on YouTube.
Really?
That's pretty cool.
Excellent.
We have 400, and this will be, I think this is the 418th show that we've recorded. And across social media, if you combine just mine, this isn't even y'all's, but if I included y'all's following on social media, we probably have a combined effort and reach of over 20,000 followers.
Wow.
That's pretty fantastic.
I wonder why people
Yeah.
look at me weird when I walk down the street. They're
You're like, "That's
recognizing me
that
from the
guy."
show.
That is exactly why.
Could be. Somebody's
That's
watching.
exactly why.
Most of the people recognize me from Pornhub, but
Yeah. That is
Well,
exactly
there's
why.
that.
As
There's
a
that.
top subscriber or what?
yeah.
Subscriber of the month,
Yeah.
Scott Baker.
Hey, Doc.
Doctor.
Hi, Doc.
But yeah, I
Hey,
was
everybody.
excited to see that
Great.
we've really grown. We've really grown.
Yeah.
And y'all are instrumental. But because I was doing my timeline, and my timeline is, I know, like, almost immediately Scott was co-hosting and guest hosting on stuff, but he didn't really come on board officially full time until like August. And then Rich
Right.
came on in September. And Joe Hansen came on in September. So we just had like little pockets of growth. So y'all will be
Well, I
getting
was
lots
really
of
hoping.
So I could have sworn Rich was on before I was.
No, I was the last one aboard.
You're the last one. We're hoping to score. I mean, we got you, so that was great. And then we were hoping to score Rich, and it took him a minute, and he came on board. So we're really hoping to score him.
Well, I agree
I
with Mike.
remember
10%
what
of
Mike
everything is
said.
because of Fred.
Well, yeah. Well, Fred wasn't around at first either.
No, he wasn't. Hi, Fred.
He came later.
Well, I
guess
remember our
depends
first
on what's
show,
growing
wasn't
in
it? Wasn't our first show Psycho Gorman?
It was, and I
That was-
became a fan
That
of
was a good movie.
Alec Boa that day. That was a
Back
good
when it was
movie.
a 2-hour show.
That was a good movie.
It was a
Yeah,
real good movie.
yeah, it was a good movie.
I was thinking about Glenn Miller coming on for the Aquarium of the Dead. I mean, I was reminiscing over all these things, and I was like, we need to get something going and getting some guest people on, because that's always fun.
Right. Yeah, we did score with Rich, Landa.
Damn right they did.
We did. So we completed our
He scored
4.
with us. What do you mean?
I don't think
Oh,
we're
yeah,
on
oh,
the
yeah,
stage with
yeah,
the word score here, but yeah. Dirty minds, all of you.
Landa, how do you think he could afford those giant headphones he wears right there? You know?
Giant headphones.
Look at those.
Sadly,
Those are massive.
sadly looking over my shoulder.
That looks cool, though.
Well, let's get
yeah,
started. So I can talk about the gentleman.
Okay.
Spirited
Who
Away.
wants to do the
I know
gentleman?
it was Rich's pick. I know it had to be Rich's pick.
Spirited Away
Yeah.
was, in fact, my pick. And I hadn't seen that film in a long time. And it was not as weird as I remember it, probably because I've seen several things that are like that recently. But it didn't hold up. I didn't think it was as good as I thought it was years and years ago. And it's I can't remember who directed it, but he directs a lot of that stuff. And the movie itself is okay. It's not a bad film. It's kind of sad for most of it, but it does a happy ending. But the animation is decent, and it's a story about a little girl and her mom and dad who sort of get pulled into this alternate world. And there's all kinds of spirits in the world, and the spirits are pretty weird looking, and she makes friends and enemies, and her parents get turned into pigs. And there's this, what was her name? Ubaba, the mother figure. She's this sort of semi-evil person who wants to work everybody to death, and she runs a bathhouse. And it's just about how the kid gets out of that situation and sort of frees her parents. And like I said, she makes friends, and one of them is a dragon, and he's trying to help her get away. And then he makes friends with the sister of the witch, the old lady. And the old lady has this big, giant, enormous head and this like fat body. Excuse me, fattish body, and she's got a baby that's like 8 feet tall. It's weird stuff like that. These 3 little heads bouncing around that work for her, and there's like frog people, and there's people that look human but call a little girl human. So I didn't really get that part of it. But overall, the film I thought it was kind of slow this time, and it was sad. There were some sad parts of it. I don't actually know if there's any death, but there was. You thought there was. There was definitely. You imagined some going on, but they ended up not dying later on. But I don't know. I really like this. Maybe I don't know when I saw it, like 5 years ago, maybe. I really, really enjoyed it, and this time I don't know, it fell a little flat. Wasn't my favorite. What'd you guys think?
I'll go.
Okay.
Since we're all speaking at once here, I know. I saw when I started watching, I'm like, I've seen this. I've seen it before, and apparently forgot all about it. Love the Chinese mythology. This is something that I should love, but I don't know if I couldn't get over. And do y'all remember those little hand puppet things? They weren't puppets; they were like people on a stick. There was one with the big nose that was like on Captain Kangaroo, or
Oh yes,
yes, yeah.
That was her head
like
on that
Punching
little woman.
yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That was the head.
Yeah.
It was much larger, and I couldn't really get over that. And I just kept, where's that from? And I remember her, and I was like, "Is it Phyllis Diller?" And it was like, "No." But anyway, so I just was disappointed. I didn't like it, so I'm sorry. I turned it off.
It's okay.
I wasn't disappointed. Don't get me wrong. I was bored, silly watching this movie, but I don't think it was made for adults.
No, again, you're right.
I was looking at it thinking, if I was like a 12-year-old girl, this would be a fantastic fantasy.
Wait, you're not a 12-year-old girl?
You're not.
I identify as one.
This is what they think about all the time, is Spirited Away.
Yeah. No, but I mean, if I was like if I was a 12-year-old girl, I think this would probably be a great anime to watch. She's in this land, she's meeting interesting people, she's trying to save her family. But, for a tainted old guy like me, this was just sort of like, oh my God, this is so boring.
Oh no, I love this kind of stuff. I love the stories, I love the spirits, I love the elementals, I love the mythology, and I really love like the Japanese symbolism and all. So I was disappointed I didn't like it more. So like I said, it was a kind of a snooze fest.
Yeah, it was first time I saw it was really exciting. I really liked it. I liked the whole aspect of it. And this time, it was just kind of slow.
To me, anime is Speed Racer.
Akira.
I mean, I'm not a big anime fan. It's got to really grab me, and this did not. I know my kids probably would have liked it when it came out. I'm sure they probably did. I scarred them with Grave of the Fireflies. I showed them that when they were kids, and that scarred them for life. I think I haven't heard the end of that. It just didn't draw me in. Maybe if you threw Racer X and Chim Chim and Spritle and Trixie in there, I would have watched it, but it just didn't grab me either. Yeah.
Well, now Ash brings up a good point. Star Blazers was fantastic.
Star Blazers.
To me, anime is like anything else. If I'm interested in the subject, I loved the anime High School of the Dead.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. I like zombies. I had a girlfriend once who she was hooked on Bleach. It was very well done, but just didn't appeal to me. It bored the hell out of me.
Yeah. I like Van Helsing. That anime, I thought that was pretty good. But this one just didn't grab me.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I mean, it was well done.
Same.
It was very well done. But like I just thought it was geared more towards, pre-teens, young teenagers than it was towards warped, perverted adults like me.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough. And I have to agree. When I first saw the movie, I loved it, and this time I was like, I couldn't wait for it to get over, which makes me sad because I wanted to love it again.
Yeah, it just wasn't my thing.
Greg has a very unique take on it, anime.
Well, don't say it out loud.
I won't.
Get us banned on YouTube.
Yeah, well,
there's some pretty wild stuff out there.
Yeah, well, he is right. I mean, they're very, come on. Pretty much, tentacle sex.
There's a lot of strangeness over there with the Hello Kitty and all.
Yes.
I love Hello Kitty though. But yeah, it just didn't grab me. So what are we going to rate it?
I'll give it a 2.
The anime, I see, this is hard. I'm rating it based on how I enjoyed it, which I'd probably give it about maybe a 2. But the anime itself, the storyline, I think was much better than that. It's just it didn't do anything to me. So as an anime, I'll give it a 3.5. Maybe even I might even go up to like a 4. But for me, it was a solid 2 because the plot bored me.
Watch out for Landa there. She might burn us down.
I was going to give it a 2.5, but now I'm scared. I'll give it a 2.75.
Well, in Landa's defense, it was something I think that we liked when we first saw it 5-10 years ago, whenever it came out.
Yeah,
but this got an Academy Award, didn't it?
Did it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, so did
it was made by Japanese Disney.
Gandhi.
The Academy Award doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean, it got it in 2001, back when stuff still meant stuff before.
I hope the fantasy about me are X-rated.
Landa's on fire.
I hadn't even given a score yet. Landa's making me rate it higher. I'm going to go with 2.5. And again, it has all the stuff that I love, and I just couldn't keep my interest, which says to me that something was missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Race car acrobatic teams, the giant car made out of gold. Yeah, it was missing all that stuff. That's my experience with anime. It's Speed Racer.
And Gigantor, the great big robot.
Yep. Yeah.
Your taste was missing.
Oh, and Astro Boy. I forgot Astro Boy.
I am just not an anime fan. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. So it was going to be a hard win for me anyway. But it did have everything that I like about stories in it.
Linda, you drinking tonight?
She's worked up.
You're on fire.
Amanda, what are you drinking? And can I have some?
Absolutely.
Sorry, Amanda.
So,
she said last week she's going to get fired up, but she's here. She was going to not tune in. We love you, Landa.
Of course.
Okay, so on to Godzilla Minus One, which I'm just going to give it to Scott Baker to talk about. And preface it by saying this is one of those nights where it'll be like Scott and I have watched 2 different movies. I just know this rolling into this description.
This movie is, I think it's phenomenal. Because I'll go into the reasons why, but it starts World War II, the end of World War II. This Japanese kamikaze pilot who didn't want to kill himself, so he lands on Oda Island, which is a tribute to the Oda Island where Godzilla first appears in the original one, which is a small little air base for kamikazes that are having engine trouble. And he lands, and the whole engineering crew there is like, no, something's wrong here. The plane is fine. They think he's a coward. The first night, this giant lizard that looks like a souped up T-Rex attacks the airfield. And the kamikaze pilot runs, gets into the plane, but he's too afraid to use the 20 millimeter cannons on Godzilla. And everyone else in the island, because of his fear, everybody else in the island except the head engineer gets killed. And then the next morning, the two of them have this huge fight about it. You know, you're a coward, you don't deserve to live, that stuff. Then it goes through the credits in which Godzilla, this Godzilla, then gets this Godzilla then winds up getting the radiation from the atomic bombings on Japan, and it grows him. So the movie continues. It's they call it Godzilla Minus One because it's Tokyo, 1940, late 45, early 46. They're still barely recovering from World War II. And it deals with the kamikaze guy. He goes back. His house is wiped out. None of the neighbors like him because they realize what he was supposed to do, and that being back, he was a coward. The old lady across the street yells at him, saying, all my children are dead because of you. And he's dealing with this grief when he runs across this young woman with a baby who she's running from the police. She throws the baby at him, takes off, and then comes back later. They form a sort of, at the beginning, an unusual relationship. I mean, she sort of pushes herself on him for a place to stay, and he accepts it, but there's nothing between them. And the movie goes on for a while. And then just as things start to get better, they build a new house, they're making friends in the community, Godzilla comes back. Except now he's bigger, badder, 3 times the size of Oda Island, and he's got one badass temper. And Tokyo gets wiped out, and the rest of the movie is, okay, how are we going to stop Godzilla? They do the plan, they come up with some unique stuff, and at the end of the movie, I'm sure I can tell you this because you know every Godzilla movie, Godzilla dies at the end of this movie. Or does he? I liked this movie because it did something that has not been done since the original Godzilla. It gave you good, well-developed characters that you gain an interest in. So their story and how they deal with Godzilla and the sacrifices they make are like the original one, not the Raymond Burr version. So, I mean, it can be slow. It's like the first 10 minutes you see the Godzilla attacking Oda Island. Then I think there's like a 30-minute lapse before you see Godzilla again. And then it keeps on going back and forth. Special effects are phenomenal. Acting is great. How they decide to kill him at the end, and how the kamikaze pilot performs his task, if you haven't seen it, is very well done. There's a lot of homages to the original movie. Like the reporters on top of the building watching him go by, and then he wipes them out. The only thing that survives in downtown Tokyo is the big clock on the Ginza building, which was one of the most famous ones destroyed in the original movie. And oh my God, that atomic breath when my nephew and I saw it at the theater, and he hits it with the atomic breath, and it leaves a giant mushroom cloud. That was just great. It's the most popular movie now of all the Japanese franchise. It is raking in. I think it's either second only to or is beating out Godzilla versus Kong, the second one. I love it. It's a great movie. Much better than Shin Godzilla. This was a great tribute to the original Godzilla.
You know, you're right, Scott. It made you care about the characters. I just watched that last King Kong versus Godzilla movie, and it's just, with the American ones, they just can't bring the human character interesting enough. Even when they did that serious one with the dude from Breaking Bad and Aaron Taylor Johnson, it just didn't. I don't know. It just wasn't. You don't care. This one you did, and it had a real exciting scene where they're in the boat trying to get away from Godzilla, and it's right there. His face is right there in the water, and they're letting the mines go and they're shooting at him, and that was a pretty exciting scene. You don't get a lot of that from Godzilla. You don't get a lot of exciting, like the scene from Jaws where the shark's coming up on the boat. You don't get a lot of real excitement. You get fun, you get, crushing things, especially with the Japanese movies, but you don't get a feeling of these guys aren't going to make it, and that scene right there, I thought was really well done. I thought, man, this is great. But you like the characters, the story, post-war Japan, it was great. I mean, I've only seen this once, but I intend to watch it again. But I really dug it. I really thought it was worthy of the Academy Award. The special effects were great. The acting was really good. And it just, drew me in. So well done. Well done, Godzilla. Well done. Here we go.
It's another one that I kind of found a snooze fest, but I did not. I watched it until they were in the boat, and they were in the boat so long. I was like just done when Godzilla started attacking the warship, and I kind of checked out then. So I'm listening to y'all makes me want to watch it.
You should.
And reading the chat and seeing that Bullpog and I can't say you people's names. Ubel, y'all got Dungeon Dan. Okay. Oh, okay. I see it now. That was not how it was reading. But reading the chat, y'all are making me think I need to watch the rest of it.
You will enjoy it.
You will. It's got a good story to it.
Yeah.
It really does.
I mean, the beginning does. For a monster movie, the beginning does drag, but it's because they're setting you up. They're setting the characters up, so as things happen to them, you feel it, and you understand how everyone else is reacting.
Right. And it's interesting seeing, post-war Japan.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I hope no one in the chat has any weapons, because I would watch Spirited Away all day, every day, before I would ever watch this ridiculous thing again. It had nothing. So I shouldn't say that. The scene that you were talking about, Alan, where he's chasing the boat and they're shooting at him. When did he start to heal, by the way? He just heals immediately. That was pretty cool. I like that scene. It was a 5-minute scene, 8-minute scene, something like that. But the rest of that movie was just so slow. It was just the first bit of it was really slow. Then when little tiny Godzilla on the island, when he was just screwing shit up, that was great. I thought that was pretty good. And I was like, all right, it was really slow. Now I'm going to get into this because baby Godzilla he's fucking shit up, so it's pretty cool. And then it just went into another snooze fest of 35 minutes of nothing. And then you get your first Godzilla sighting, and it was okay. It did amp up a little from there, and then it slowed down again. So, like you said, Alan and Scott, the characters are great. They're pretty fantastic. But other than that, man, I guess the practical effects were okay. And I'm going to get some real hate for this, but I would watch that Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie any day over this. I am not going to rate this very high. So, I mean, I guess that's what I got. I won't watch that again. Next. I went into a tunnel. Oh, I was. Yeah, I'm repeating myself. So what else you guys got on Godzilla?
Alan's talking, but he's on mute.
Oh. Alan, you're on mute.
Alan, are you muted?
Can you hear me?
Now
Yeah.
we can hear you.
We lost Hadley.
I'm up.
Yeah, we got some kind of echo going on. Yeah, Linda said I went into it. Godzilla hurt me, Dad. It wasn't. It wasn't for me. I just didn't particularly care for it.
Are you normally a Godzilla fan?
Oh, I love them all.
Okay.
So, like the original Godzilla. So first of all, I was a little kid when I saw the original Godzilla, and I cried the fate when they burned him up with that bubbly crap. I hate it. They didn't, Mom. They didn't have to kill him.
The oxygen destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. The oxygen destroyer. And this time, trying to kill him with pressure. I mean, come on. It is what it is, I suppose. That was just me. I'm gonna get out and come back. Something's up.
Okay.
I'm
Alan?
here. I'm sorry. There's some problems with sound tonight. I don't know if y'all hear it.
Yeah. Alan's muted again.
There. Can you hear me now?
Now we can.
Yes.
All right. I think Godzilla's radioactive breath on it. We're not going his way.
Lando,
I'm back. I came back.
Yeah, everybody.
I'm having some sound issues tonight.
Yeah, same. Try that.
Okay, so did we rate this movie?
We sound like an echo chamber.
We do, and I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's Landa's fury.
That's what it is. Look, Ash is now furious.
This is what she did to us.
The Matthew Broderick version, to be fair, the Matthew Broderick version was a great monster movie. It sucked as a Godzilla movie. If they had named it anything else, I think it would have been more popular.
Maddie and the Big Lizard?
Yeah.
It had great marketing, man. Taco Bell had great marketing. I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the kids got all kinds of Godzilla toys back then.
Yeah, wow, this sounds nasty.
Yeah, it could be the CIA.
We're a little bit better than that, Mike. We don't interfere. Unless it's a politician they don't like.
Actually, Scott, you're the only one without an echo.
Really?
Yeah, I don't get an echo on you. I'm getting one on Alan and Hadley, but not you.
But Dungeon Dan can't hear me.
You're low. You're lower than everybody.
Thank you. Oh, you know me, my moral standards. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well then. So what are we going to read?
Well, wait a minute. Has Hadley talked about the movie?
Yeah, she weighed in. She said she didn't finish it. Then with the comments on the from the peanut gallery.
That's right.
She didn't finish it.
Yeah, I'm going to though.
Oh.
There's the damn echo.
Actually, I don't have an echo on any of you anymore.
No.
I'm not talking. That's why.
I didn't get an echo.
You finally found a way.
So I'm going through and I'm adjusting.
Okay.
But I still hear it for myself.
No, you sound good.
Okay. Well, so let's go to The Gentleman because I can talk for 25 minutes on it.
Well, let's rate this one.
Rate this.
Well, I can only give it a 2.5 for the half hour or 2 hours that I watched. So
2 hours.
Okay, so I'm normal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can hear you normal.
Yeah.
Say something again because I think I got an echo.
Ash is saying Hadley's normal.
Yeah, you are. Okay. No echo. No, I
so
give
Rich, what do you give this one?
Well, I probably give it a 2.5, but I don't want to get beat up in the parking lot, so I'll give it a 3.
Oh gosh!
Watch out for Landa. She's stealthy.
I know. No, I think she's with me on this one. I think I made up a little tiny bit for the Spirited Away thing. She looks less violent.
So now we're going to go into The Gentleman.
So what did Alan give it? I didn't hear.
Gave it a 5.
A 5.
All right. At least 2 of us know what we're talking about.
Rich, watch it again. You may love it.
I would rather eat live bugs. There's no chance I'm going to watch that movie again. I'd fall asleep.
Hadley, you gonna go? Have you? You gonna give?
I'm gonna give it another try.
Good. You gonna?
I'd watched I'd watched Godzilla King Kong before I saw this one.
Mm-hmm.
The second one.
Yeah, the one with the tribe of the chimpanzees, orangutan, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't like monkeys, so it was kind of hard.
Do you want to give us The Gentleman, Hadley?
I can. Let's see. The Gentleman is an action comedy television series created by Guy Ritchie. It's a spinoff from his movie, The Gentleman, which I think we reviewed. It had Hugh Grant and was it Matthew McConaughey in that one?
Yep.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, the dude from Sons of Anarchy.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam.
And the premise is basically Guy Ritchie stuff. It's got your gangsters. It's got your, Fight Club. It's just got everything. The fast talking, gangster rapping, funness that we all love Guy Ritchie for. I didn't realize. I knew it had the vibe, but I didn't realize that he directed a few of the episodes, but you can tell he didn't record all of them. But anyway, so Edward Horniman has unexpectedly inherited a vast estate, and when his father dies and he finds out there's a pot farm that's going on and paying the bills, he gets involved with Susie Glass. That's the chic chick that is, hey, y'all like how I did that? The chic chick that she's a gangster's daughter, and she's running this nefarious organization, and she is a lot of fun, and the two of them just really have a interesting dynamic, I should say. It's very charged with the sexual chemistry. And then there's his brother Freddie, who's the older brother and by rights feels like he should have gotten the estate. But for whatever reason, probably because of the pot farm, the dad decided to leave it to the younger son, which I think we all figured out fairly quickly when the chicken soup got involved that Freddie probably wasn't the best person to be in charge of the pot business. But it was a wild ride. I mean, it was like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy this show. I binge watched it when it first came out, and I didn't get a chance to rewatch it, but I've highly recommended it. I highly recommend it to anyone that likes that Guy Ritchie vibe that he does when he's, in the midst of the magic that he does. But anyway, so that's all I'm going to give because people probably haven't seen it yet.
I love the movie. The movie was just the way Guy Ritchie tells a story. It's backwards, forwards. It's not a linear story, and I love that. And the characters, he always has great characters, and the actors he fills them with are always fantastic. And this spinoff from that movie was great. I mean, you had what's his name, Vinnie Jones.
Yeah,
love Vinnie Jones. I had Vinnie a couple weeks ago. We did Vinnie Jones movie. He plays a great character. The dude that plays Freddy is excellent. Susie Glass, Theo James that plays the main character does a great job. He's from the Insurgent series, Divergent, all that. He was one of the leads in that. And then you have Jolie Richardson from Event Horizon, that she did a great job as the mother. That's not clueless. She acts like she's clueless, but she knows what's going on. It's fun. Like you said, it's a lot of fun. It's like a roller coaster ride. Shit happens, and then other shit happens, and Eddie keeps getting deeper and deeper into the underworld that he's trying to escape from. And I think he was a captain in the army, and they a lot of times they mistake him for being a poof, being one of these upper class, just has no backbone or whatever. And they find out that he's willing to stoop. He's willing to stoop into the underworld without a problem, very easily. But I love this series. I thought it was really well done. But I'm a Guy Ritchie fan, and so I'm bent that way. How about you guys?
Let me ask you quickly. Could you tell which episodes he directed and which he didn't?
It's been a while since I watched the series, but yeah.
Yeah,
The better ones were the ones that he directed.
Mm-hmm. It dropped
Yeah, they
off
do.
about midway, and I think that's when he stopped directing them.
Yeah.
But I just wondered if it was just me, because that's why I don't think I realized it was him that directed it, because it lost that feel. But I find it
It's like
interesting that he's got such a strong signature.
He does. It's like Tyler Sheridan. You can tell the series that he directs and writes himself, and then when the episode is somebody else directing and writing it, you can tell that too. So there's a few directors like that. You can really tell when they're doing it, or when they're just producing it, and you can really tell with Guy Ritchie. But I just like the way he writes his characters and his stories.
Yeah, I love him. Y'all know that. Y'all know Snatch is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, got to say
I
Snatch
can't believe
today.
that's the first time that got said. Yeah. But yeah, so I binge watched it. It's been a while. I know Rich is in the midst of watching it. Did you finish it?
I'm done. Yeah, I finished it.
And I don't know if did you finish it, Scott?
No, I've only did the first two.
So what'd you think?
It gets better.
I love it. My favorite characters are Daniel Ing's Freddy. He plays such a jerk as the brother. I mean, I give Eddie a lot of credit. I probably would have let the mob have their way with him a long time earlier. And he deserved to wear that chicken outfit. What he did after he wore the chicken outfit was a little bit bizarre, and I love the actress who plays Susie Glass. She is just so low-key, sexy, You know, you can tell there's a really dark side to her, but you don't care. She's just it's a really good series. Typical Guy Ritchie, you're gonna love it. It's got some bizarre moments. It's the characters are great. Oh, and the I don't know the actor who plays him, but the drug dealer there, the one with who has like the religious cult.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Just before they kill somebody, they all like pray and forgive each other of their sins. But it's good.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of those types of movies, but if it's Guy Ritchie, it's definitely worth watching.
Rich.
I absolutely love this. This is one of the best series to come around in a while. It's formulaic. It's got the Breaking Bad, Sons of Anarchy formula, where you take somebody of sort of, I would say, lower power that really shouldn't be, and you put him in a position of power, and he excels. And this is exactly what that is. He's a guy who doesn't want to go down this dark corridor. He doesn't want to take his family down this dark corridor of crime, but he loves it, even though he says he doesn't, and he's really good at it. He's built for this. So there's only one natural outcome is that I can see. I mean, it seems to me, first of all, there's got to be another season coming. So it seems to me that this is gonna lead him down that corridor, and I really don't want to give anything away because it's a fairly new series. But to me, the two best parts of this are Freddie the brother, who is just a complete and utter moron when it comes to a lot of things. But he's not. I shouldn't say he's not stupid. He's just dumb.
No.
Does that make sense? And he does things that no sane person would do. But he's also addled a lot. He's on drugs. And he just pulls some weird shit. But one of the other best characters, one of the guys that I think is one of the best actors in the show is the stoner dude. The dude he's like he makes the weed. He's the Asian guy.
Yeah.
He's always got that cap on.
Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's excellent because he's just an idiot. His brain is gone, but he tries so hard to please everybody. It was just fantastic. And like I said, it's formulaic in that all the stuff that I mentioned up to now, and then on top of that, the situations are just Guy Ritchie situations that they get put into. He doesn't want to be the crime guy, but he ends up being a really good crime guy. He's, like Alan said, people think he's this poof because he's a duke. He's this rich guy, and he doesn't know, but he's tough as nails. And he doesn't have any qualms about doing what he needs to do to protect his family, whatever that is. And that includes, murder. So, I'm going to recommend this to everybody. I binge watched it, I think, in 2 nights. I couldn't sleep, so I watched like 4 episodes of it. I think there's 8 or 10 episodes. I can't remember. It's excellent. It's absolutely fantastic. Everybody out there needs to watch this. It's every bit as good as, the Breaking Bad or Sons of Anarchy. It's just a different style. For sure, you need to watch this.
Well, speaking of Breaking Bad, we're forgetting it's got Giancarlo Esposito in this as the American crime lord, and you have Ray Winstone. Yeah, Ray Winstone, and he's a regular in Guy Ritchie movies. He plays that type of character. I mean, you have so many characters in this that are great. Max Beasley, he plays that Henry Collins guy, the fight promoter guy that gets into. Well, I don't want to give too much away because Scott hasn't seen it, but seen the rest of it. But it's worth the watch. Stay with it, Scott. And the brother gets into more stupid shit. The brother gets into more dumb crap.
I'm sure.
And Eddie continues to do stuff to bail him out, that horrible stuff, and it's just it's I'm telling you, like I'm with Rich, it's just one of the better series out there right now. It really is.
Oh, Dan.
Yes, Dan.
I love Godzilla movies. I just didn't like this one. But I do love.
You just didn't love this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Esposito, he's got a field day right now. He's in a ton of crap. He was in Abigail.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's all over the place right now. He's a great he's a good actor. Good actor. Love seeing him and stuff. But, so far, what will we give this? Or are we done? We got any more to say about it?
No.
I don't think so. I'll give this a straight up.
We got 10 minutes to kill. Come on.
Well, okay, let me add this real quick. The movie is just as good. It doesn't have the brother character, but it's got Hugh Grant. And Hugh Grant, his character in it is just great.
That's the one where he's the reporter, right?
He's got the dirt on Matthew McConaughey's character. And Charlie Hunnam is like Matthew McConaughey's like second in command, his cleanup guy.
Yeah.
He's got that scene where
it's the
he's trying to get the cell phone back. Yeah.
Say that again, Al?
He's got that scene where he chases those punks down to get that phone back. And they're like, screw you. And they pull those knives out, and he's got that machine gun hidden under his jacket. And they go, whoosh, and they give him the phone back. Now, that's a great scene.
It is. I do remember that. It was a good flick.
Did we do that movie?
Yeah, we did, actually.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. You should watch it, Scott. It's really good.
All right.
So,
Craig, I'll say this. Guy Ritchie knows how to pull the poof out of Hugh Jackman, or Hugh, what's his name? Grant. Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
He does.
He gets him on a level and is able to get him to deliver in just ways you just never imagined.
He does. He can really get him to do an interesting character, definitely.
A gritty, real character. And if that makes sense, it has a grittier ness to it, a dirtiness, rather than the polished Brit that we're used to, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But this is a good pick. I think you picked this, Rich, right, for tonight's show?
Maybe. I think everybody was going to love it, so it was easy to see. I was trying to look up what Giancarlo Esposito is in, but IMDb is fighting. I mean, I know he's been in a ton of stuff.
Oh yeah,
Breaking Bad, the Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
He's on a new show that's it's set in New Orleans right now too, isn't he?
Yeah, some AMC show, yeah.
So he's in the movie Taps that we were just talking about a couple of weeks ago. He's Cadet Captain J.C. Pierce.
What movie is this?
Taps.
Oh, Taps.
Yeah. He's in Bakersfield.
He's in Trading Places, The Brother from Another Planet, Cotton Club, Go Tell It to the Mountain, Desperately Seeking Susan, Maximum Overdrive, Do the Right Thing, New York, more better. Man, he's Harley Davidson, The Marlboro Man, Malcolm X. Wow. He's in a lot of flicks.
Huh. He is.
I'm only up at 200.
He's been around for a while.
Maxine, Electric State, Captain America, Brave New World. Yeah.
I think he's replacing that one guy that got arrested for domestic violence. He's replacing that character. I think.
Know who that is. Somebody in the Marvel universe got arrested for domestic violence.
Imagine that, huh?
Yeah, I don't know who it is.
Don Cheadle?
No. Please don't tell me it's him.
He's a class.
No, he plays the bad guy in the last Ant-Man movie.
Oh, Kang. Oh, I can't remember. Now I do know.
Yeah.
Yes, I did hear that.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think he's replacing Kang. He's going to be Kang in the Marvel universe. But it's going to take a lot to get me to watch Marvel. Maybe I'll watch it because of him. I don't know.
I got a Facebook warning.
Oh, man. Don't say bad words.
No, don't say anything. Facebook is.
Well, say so because I want to talk, but
Facebook gets offended at everything.
They take away you being an adult. You're watching some of these shows on YouTube, and you're like, "What are they talking about?" I mean, you know what they're talking about, but they take away the adultness of things. We're all adults.
Well,
something
I want to
happens
talk
bad to
about
somebody.
next week.
What's
Next week
Let's
we
do
got
it.
Land
I'm
of the
on a rant.
Dead.
Do it.
Land of the Dead.
Yes.
What are we going to pair with it?
Next week we have Land of the Dead.
I've got a movie. If we want to do a zombie movie, I don't know if you've seen it. I watched it last night. We fell in love with it. Cooties.
Oh.
Have you seen it?
It's Elijah Wood, right?
Yes.
Yes. That's the school one, right?
That's the school one. And
right?
Being a teacher for the past 3 months, I could relate to that. So I love the fact that the gym teacher's out there playing basketball as the whole school ground's turning, and he doesn't realize it.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, I got to rewatch it.
Okay, and can I suggest our next series that just started?
I bet I know what you're going to say.
The Boys.
Well, wait a minute. Are we going to finish up The Gentleman?
We already did.
But everyone else hasn't.
Yeah, but we can't give it away. It's new.
Yeah.
Sure. Wait a minute, though.
We'll all have fun with The Boys.
Isn't The Boys?
It came out today.
4th season?
Something like that, yeah.
Well, wouldn't you have had to see the first 3 to understand the 4th?
Have you not seen these?
No.
This is your jam. You would love these.
Oh, you'll love it, Scott. You'll love it.
Scott, it's got all the ooey gooey gross stuff. People's heads exploding.
Yeah.
You'd love it.
Wow. It's right up your alley,
Scott. Bad guy superheroes. Superheroes that are actually bad guys.
Almost like the Watchmen.
Yeah, and like Breitbart.
Yes. So
the Homelander is the Superman character. He's as powerful as Superman, or I don't want to insult any DC fans out there, but that's his character. But he's not a good guy. So you need to really should start watching this show. In fact, even right now, as soon as you get out of here, go start watching The Boys. You got 3 seasons to catch up on. Damn, totally worth it.
I like it, Scott.
You could just start with the season that we're on and go back and watch if you want to.
But am I gonna not pick up anything because this was important?
Yeah, you probably would. Yeah. You could probably watch. But
yes,
you need to watch it all anyway.
Frank, I have never watched The Boys. I know I'm bad. And Ash is on an anti-Star Wars, anti-Disney kid.
Oh no! Wait, well. Save that for after show sometime.
Spontaneous high school kids exploding for no reason. Ooh, that could be fun. Especially if I
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the other seasons.
Of The Boys, you mean?
What?
Yeah, I just watched the first season.
It's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Some of it made me feel bad.
Yeah, I get that.
I know
it's dark. It's dark and gross.
Dark.
I can't believe you don't love
and then,
it. Goes funny.
It got political.
Yeah,
I hate that when they throw especially the Homelander guy. It's like I shouldn't listen to actors talk. I really shouldn't.
Thanks to Rich, I watched a series last week that I fell in love with, Blood Drive. And I'll tell you, if you had told me that this was actually on the Sci-Fi Channel, I would probably never have believed you. This was the goriest, sexiest, most violent TV show I have ever seen, and I loved every minute of it.
It was Alan Ritchson. Alan Ritchson was the main character, and it was it's bloody as hell. There's lots and lots of sex in it. It's F-bombs everywhere.
Oh yeah,
it's great. It's dystopian, so it's really cool. It's about a race, and this is going to sound ridiculous, and it is. And it's about a race that these people are sort of forced into, and the vehicles that they drive are powered by human blood. So they have to find people and feed them to the car in order to keep going. I mean, the premise of it is ridiculous, but it goes off the rails. That's not the whole thing. That's, believe it or not, the race is a minor part of the story.
Yeah,
but it's just. I'm not sure it's the best thing I've ever seen, but it's definitely worth watching.
It's worth watching just for the actor who plays the host of the show. Yeah. His character is just fascinating. Yeah. It is so mean, so over the top, so sadistic, and the actor who plays him does a perfect job.
Agreed. Yeah, again.
They have another one out
All right. Do what?
What'd you say, buddy?
They have another one out there real quick, guys, called Curfew. It's an English one with Sean Bean, and they're racing across a zombie landscape to get to a utopia. If you could find that one, it was on one of the cable channels had it.
Well,
it's called Curfew.
Oh, speaking of Sean Bean, they're bringing back all 3 seasons of Snowpiercer. So I'm hoping that means they're going to finish off the 4th season.
Well, speaking of Sean Bean, the next season of The House of the Dragon is starting that Sunday. So season 2 of House of the Dragon is starting. If you are a Game of Thrones fan, it is. I've really enjoyed House of the Dragons, and I am super looking forward to seeing season 2.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It was really good. I mean, I rewatched it, so I'll be prepared for the next season. And I'm telling you, I'm ready to go. But it's that time, kids. We're going to have to wrap up. And
Right,
I'm going to say...
What are we doing next week?
Land of the Dead and Cooties.
We are doing Cooties, okay.
Yes.
And the boys.
Right. And I will say tomorrow night, don't forget to tune in at 6 o'clock, where in the Fault goes into WITF Live, Friday Night Live. And it is followed by our show on Weird Awakenings. And in 2 weeks, I think we will be back on 8 o'clock on Friday with Tracy Crosby's part 2 of her series. The Blondes are back this coming Tuesday. And sometime this month, I believe Miss Finley will have another true crime special for y'all. So, cool. And coming up next month, we're going to have a 4-part series on hypnosis and hypnotizing people. All right. So until next time, kids, you know what to do.
Yes. Stay weird.
Thank you for joining us.